Hi guys and gals, Miss Dawson here. I am going to show you how to read a protractor. A protractor is used for measuring angles. It's the name of a tool. You might have seen them before in the classroom. They're like an arc and they're clear and they got a bunch of numbers on them. I'm going to show you how to use that right now. Okay, so this is an online protractor. Okay, this is through Math Playground. Your activity that you're going to do on your Google Classroom is to play this on Math Playground. Okay, so the protractor is this clear thing right here with all these numbers on it. All right, and your job is to measure this yellow angle. Okay, now if you look, the bottom of the protractor has to be lined up right at the angle. Okay, and here you can move your protractor. So just like when you're counting, you can start counting at like 40, 41, 42, 43, or you could start counting at 0. Which do you think would be easier to start at? Should we start at 40 or should we start at 0? Probably 0. So we're going to move our protractor to where, sorry, I'm wiggling a little bit, to where it is lined up at 0. Okay, so that's this red line. We want to get it as close as we can. There, it's perfectly lined up. Okay, now, a protractor is pretty much just a number line. If you can count, then you can read a protractor. So we have here 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Now, the next one is going to be a little bit different. Do you see how there's two sets of numbers? Either way you look at this one, it's at about 90 degrees. So let's go ahead and put in 90 and see if we got it right. We got it. Okay, let's do our next one. Our next one, let's line it up at the 0. Okay, this one's not as exact as the other one. It's pretty close though. But okay, so if your angle is smaller, it's acute, okay? If your angle is bigger, it is obtuse. I kind of talked about that in another lesson. So if your angle looking at it, if it's smaller, then you need to choose the smaller numbers. If it is a wider one, then you need to choose the bigger numbers. So this one right here, does it look like it's less than 90 or greater than 90? It's a little bit less than 90, so that would make it acute. So when you're choosing your sets of numbers, you choose the smaller set. So we have 80 and 90, and then we have a whole bunch of little notches that you have to choose from. It'll be easier when you are on your own computer because you can see it better. But if we zoom in and try and count, so we have 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, and then see that little bit longer one? Oh, my hand makes it screw up. That little bit longer one is 5. So if we have 85 and then about 3 more than 85, so it's about 88. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to mark 88. Let's see if we got it. We got it. So your job is to just go through these activities and try and read the protractor. So I'm going to slide it over again to 0. Now, if you look at this one, you see how this one's a little bit wider? So if it's a little bit wider, you're going to choose the bigger numbers because it's obtuse. So am I going to choose in the 80s or in the hundreds if it's wider? If it's wider, you choose the bigger numbers. So I'm not going to look at the bottom, I'm going to look at the top. So it says 100. Right there is 110, and it looks like it's right in the middle of 100 and 110. So you have to think, what's halfway between 100 and 110? It's something in the middle of those, and it's about halfway. So it would be about half of 100 and 110, 105. okay? Now, if you look here, it says the actual angle is 104. We guessed 105. It's so precise that it still gives you credit for it because it wants you to get close. If the angle was 104 and you said 120, that's too far away and it won't give you credit for it. Okay, but you have to be within like one or two of them. Okay, so your assignment is going to be to just do some practice with this. I looked up online, why do you measure angles? Because I was thinking, I've never measured angles in my life. And they do use them for building, for roads, for drainage of like drainage ditches and sidewalks. And they said they even use angles to measure how far away stars and planets are. So it is something that you use, especially if you're interested in any of those jobs when you get older. And I say I don't use angles, but I teach y'all angles every year, so there you go. So if you have more questions about measuring angles or protractors, just send me a message on Google Classroom or on Seesaw or email me and I'll try and get back to y'all. Okay? Bye.